All right. The next theory that we are going to look at is the Alderfer's ERG theory. This theory is being developed based from the Maslow hierarchy of needs theory that we have previously discussed in the previous uh, uh, video. So in this theory, Alderfer's ERG theory consists of that there are three universal needs for existence, relatedness, and growth, constitute a hierarchy of needs and motivate people behavior. And then it proposed that needs at more than one level can be motivational at the same time. If we look at the Maslow hierarchy of needs, the underlying uh, theory of Maslow is that individual will try to fulfill the lower level needs first. We will try to fulfill the psychological, the physiological, and then the safety needs, and then we go for the self-belongingness needs, and we go up, move up to the top. But under Alderfer ERG theory is that no, we can focus more than one need at the same time. Any level of needs can be our motivator at the same time. In this theory, they have three level of needs, existent needs, in which they combine the need for shelter, basic needs together with the safe environment. And then for the medium level of needs, the needs to have good interpersonal relationships. This is more like a self-belongingness needs. And then the high level needs, which combine the self-actualization and self-esteem needs under Maslow hierarchy of needs lah. And so what is the difference between this need and Maslow hierarchy of needs? Number one, under Alderfer's theory says that people can pursue any two or all three levels of needs at the same time. And then if we are unable to fulfill our higher or our growth needs, we will try to redouble our efforts in order to fulfill our relatedness needs, or we can either focusing on the existence needs. Maybe if we don't get this, we can try to focus on getting a better and secure safe environment. We can get more insurance for ourselves, for example, to make us to feel better. And even though that we don't have a spouse yet, for example, maybe we can try to pursue a growth needs. And that's why there are some people who are still single, but they are already at the highest level of needs. And because if we look at the Maslow hierarchy of needs, that is not possible, because people will try to move from one step to another step, one ladder to another ladder. But under Alderfer's ERG theory, no, you can do that. You can not focusing on the relatedness needs, but you can try to go for the growth needs. And that's why sometimes we can see that some people in our working environment, they will no, they don't concern about making friends. They will stab people at the back because their focus is more towards fulfilling the growth needs, which is the higher level of needs. So as lower level needs are satisfied, a person is motivated to satisfy higher level needs. When a person is unable to satisfy higher level needs or frustrated, motivation to satisfy lower level needs increases. That's what I was saying. And so when you satisfy the lower level, of course, you will focus on the higher level. But at the same time, you can carry any of these needs together and focusing on them at the same time. The next theory that we are going to focus on is the Herzberg two motivational theory. According to Herzberg, they are motivator and also hygiene factors. This need theory distinguishes between motivator needs and hygiene needs, and proposes that motivator needs must be met for motivation and job satisfaction to be high. Interesting work, autonomy, responsibility, the ability to grow and develop on the job, sense of accomplishment and achievement help to satisfy the motivator needs. And then the hygiene needs are related to the work context of the job and comfortable work environment, pay, job security. So we need to understand there are two types of needs under this theory. One is motivator needs and then the hygiene needs. the hygiene needs, regardless of what, they can contribute towards demotivation, or they will not be able to provide satisfaction to the employees. So when we talk about hygiene needs, regardless of what you do, people can easily get demotivated or no satisfaction. For example, about the pay, none of us are satisfied in terms of the pay that we get. We always feel that we should get more. But even if they give us more, sometimes it doesn't create an extra level of effort. But when we talk about motivator needs, these are the factors that we as managers need to focus on. Sometimes when we give them a little bit more responsibility, they would become easily motivated. They will become more motivated. When we give them autonomy in order for them to do the job to the best way possible that they know how, and we give them all the rooms in order for them to handle this particular job, this will get them motivated. And so these are the Herzberg two factors motivation. We should know what is the motivator factors, and we should know what are the hygiene factors. The hygiene factors is important in order to get the job done. For example, work environment, the job security, the pay and everything. But it does not help to create that additional motivation among the employees. If you want to get more motivation among the employees, under this theory, you need to focus on the motivator needs as well. So the next one, we talk about McClelland needs for achievement, affiliation, and power. There are three types of needs under McClelland. The first one, McClelland says that the need for achievement, the extent to which an individual has a strong desire to perform challenging tasks well and to meet personal standards for excellence. And then number two, need for affiliation, concern about establishing and maintaining good interpersonal relations, being liked, having the people around him or her get along with each other, and then the need for power. So sometimes when the need for power is more than the need for affiliation, that would explain why some of our friends are not good friends to us. They would stab us at the back in order for them to get the power, in order for them to get the promotion, because they don't care much about the need for affiliation. For lecturers, we can say that they have a high need for affiliation. Because of why? Because naturally they like to be among people, they have a good interpersonal relations, so that's why they choose the job that they are at the moment. And then for example, the need for achievement, for some people, if they want work, they want to work for multinational corporations. Because of why? Because they need that challenging task, for example. So different need that the people have might influence or motivate their work behavior. And then the equity theory, a theory of motivation that focuses on people's perception of the fairness of their work outcomes relative to their work inputs. In this theory, people will decide whether or not the outcomes that they would receive is equitable to the amount of efforts that they put in. So the equity is outcomes divided by the inputs, and then if it is equal, and then the engineer perceives that he contributes more inputs and receive proportionately more outcomes, then his reference. So we would perceive that the effort is equal to the rewards. We would feel that if we put in certain level of performance, and then we are being rewarded with certain level of outcomes, so it is fair. It is equate with the effort as well as the rewards. And then we would assume that underpayment inequity should the inputs that we produce is considered as less than the person that we refer to. This could be anyone. The referent person could be anyone. It could be your next employee. It could be your next colleague. It could be your next door. For example, we look at our next door neighbor, and suddenly during the PKPB, suddenly they bought a new car. So if we feel that our salary range is about pretty much the same, the size of the house is pretty much the same, then we started to demand from our spouse to get a new car, or a new TV, a new sofa set, for example. And so we will always have that reference person in which we will try to evaluate whether or not we are being treated fairly ataupun we are being unjust. There is inequality in terms of the way we are being compensated. And then overpayment, when we engineer perceive that they contribute the same input but receive more outcomes. We do this level, but we receive a higher level of outcomes or rewards. So that is overpayment inequity. So this is exactly what I was saying just now. So when we talk about equity, there are several uh, equity and justice that have been developed in the area of management. We talk about distributive justice, a person's perception of the fairness of the distribution of outcomes in an organization. We always keep on seeing or observing what other people get, and we know that whether or not we have performed at the same level of efforts as compared to this person. So if we feel that we are being treated unfairly, so this would create distributive justice. We feel that it is not being, we are not being treated fairly by the organization. Procedural justice is based on the distribution, the perception of the fairness of the procedures that are used to determine how to distribute outcomes in an organization. So this is more towards looking at the procedures. And then interpersonal justice, a person perceptions of the fairness of the interpersonal treatment he or she receive from whoever distribute outcomes to him or her. We will feel that we are going to be treated unfairly if we know that the top manager is having a favoritism. So this would affect in terms of the perceptions towards interpersonal justice in the organization. And then informational justice, a person's perception of the extent to which his or her manager provides explanations for decision and the procedure used to arrive at them. So sometimes injustice might also occur on the information that we distribute to our employees. We need to be very careful. And when it comes to procedural or related to the work, we must be fair to everyone. We should inform everyone in terms of the same procedure in order for them to receive the same level of outcomes or rewards. And then the next theory, we talk about the goal setting theory before we end this video and continue with the next video. Goal setting theory, a theory that focuses on identifying the types of goals that are most effective in producing high levels of motivation and performance, and explaining why goals have these effects. So it must be specific and difficult, challenging goals. If the goals is not that challenging, the tendency for the people to put in more efforts towards achieving those goals, sometimes they would become complacent. So when we go for the goal setting theory, the goal must be specific in terms of quantity. It must be quantified, able to be achieved, and yes, difficult, stretch objective that we set for the employees. All right. So I'll see you guys in the next video.